Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Coming to you live from Peoria, Arizona on another beautiful day out here. Mariners just wrapping up a spring training game against the Colorado Rockies. We've got much to discuss in a short amount of time out here, as we've got our first look at the team in person. I mean, we've been watching some bullpens, watching batting practice, things like that. But the first game action today, Dave, which was good to see.
Yeah, it really was. And, you had some guys like Cole Young have a great game. I mean, that was really fun to watch him. So, he was 3 for 5, had 3 RBIs, hit the dinger. And, that was really cool to see him do well. Another one, JP. I mean, obviously he's a proven commodity, but he ends up going 2 for 3 today. So, yeah, there were some good things to like.
Yeah, you saw the Mariners with 2 outs go back-to-back home runs and then a triple. So when home run, triple by Connor Joe, who looked good out there. He's hitting the ball hard, and he's having a good spring so far. You brought up Cole Young, who's looked good out there. It was just good to get eyes on some of these guys out there that you're not nearly as familiar with. See Colt Emerson for the first time out in the field, and Arroyo was out there. So some of the young guys that you've had a chance to hear about, and we finally got a chance to see him out there.
Yeah, so. Connor Joe's kind of an interesting player, and that wasn't somebody we talked about that much. But in spring, he's got a home run, 5 RBIs, batting over 300, and he looks really good. So yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's just a lot of options this year, not like a lot of holes. There's just a lot of options. And some of these guys now, obviously spring training, but you can only play the game that's on the schedule. And yeah, I thought that it was, how'd you feel about Brash? And
I thought he looked good.
What did he throw, 15, 16 pitches?
15 pitches. Yeah, gave up 1 hit, and he was charged with an earned run because that run came around to score. They took him out before that. But yeah, obviously his first exposure in spring, and he was hitting 97 on the gun, 98, touched 98, so the velocity was there. Watched his bullpen the other day. He looked loose, looked like he was just letting it rip, and obviously they were being careful with him today. But, yeah, he looked good out there. Luis Castillo started the game. I thought he looked okay. Yeah. He wasn't awesome. He wasn't – it's spring, but he gave up 2 runs and 3 1/3. Had 3 strikeouts. Not a guy you're watching the numbers. You're not paying attention to the numbers completely, but it's not dominant. He's got a 15 ERA so far in spring. So, take that for what it's worth. Guys are working on things. Ferrer looked good. Saw him out there. He just goes 2/3 of an inning and struck out both guys he faced. So, yeah, your bullpen, I thought for the most part, it was a rough outing for Casey Lawrence, who went 3 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. Rough day for him out there, but by and large, nice day for the bullpen. And good to, Cole Young is a guy that we've been talking a lot about. We saw him last year. You saw him succeed. You saw him struggle. So, there was a lot of talk about what's he going to do with that. What's he going to do with that information, and how is he going to turn that into a starting job out here, which seems like it's his to lose. And right now, he's coming through. He's playing solid defense. He's hitting. His OPS is over 1,000. So, yeah, he's a guy that looks like he's on time.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest question mark there is second base, and to see him hitting the ball and playing good defense, yeah, it's I don't know, everything seems to be going the way that they want it to go, and some good performances. And again, the whole thing with spring training is what kind of pitchers they're facing, but yeah, I was really impressed with Cole Young. He just looks, also the way he carries himself on the field, just looks like a big leaguer.
Yeah, he looks comfortable. Yeah. He just looks like he's where
belongs.
He should be. Yeah, he doesn't look overmatched. He doesn't look in awe of anything. I was excited to see Brennan Davis out there. He went 0 for 2 on the day. He didn't start the game, but he got out there, a couple of plate appearances, and 0 for 2 knocked his average down to 379. Jeez. So I guess he stinks now. But no, it was he's my biggest curiosity, outside of the guys that were, Cole Young, obviously you're looking at as being a pillar out there for you to start the year at second base. And Brennan Davis is just one of those spring training stories that's you're just amazed at his journey and, you know, what he's had to overcome and where he was coming into the league, the expectations, the rankings. Ranked as high as number 3 in the Cubs organization, number 15 MLB pipeline at one point, but just one injury after another has slowed him down. So he's just off to a tremendous start in spring. So excited to see him out there. The one guy that you and I both picked as sort of our dark horse, it hasn't looked good. Robles his timing does not look to be there at the plate. He's getting beat by the fastball. He's behind on the fastball. He's out in front of the off-speed stuff. His timing doesn't look to be there. And I know he was out for a bit with a sore shoulder, so maybe he's still working, getting back to that. But he was 0 for 3 today. He's hitting .083. Again, they're spring training numbers, but watching him in the box would be different if he were squaring it up and hitting the ball hard at somebody. And, he's making outs, but he's squaring it up. Yeah, I didn't see any solid contact. He it looks like he's a tick off timing-wise at the plate.
Yeah, he got a walk today. And was he the one that tried to go first to third?
Yeah, he got thrown out at third.
But, yeah, I mean, he's very fast and so good in the outfield. But, we talked about him being maybe a dark horse. But, Brennan Davis plays right field. And is he the new dark horse, you think?
I feel like he's still a long shot to break camp with the big club because he's, I think they've got so many options in the outfield right now with Rayleigh and Canzone and Robles and certainly.
Yeah, we forget about all those guys at the WBC, right?
Yeah. So you got a glut of outfielders. You got a glut of options there. I don't. He's just such a great story and he's having a tremendous spring, but I just don't know what they do with that. I don't know if they just say, look, this is awesome. We're going to start him in AAA, see how things go with our platoon in right field, maybe see how things go in left field with the Rosarena. Is he a guy that could be an obvious, body to be up there that can be productive and spell him every once in a while? I don't know what their plans are for him, but I like that it makes it kind of a discussion, makes it a decision that needs to be made. Yeah, well, and the good thing is he's staying healthy so far, and that's really been his biggest problem. That's that health. So, I think, like I said before, it is you do have to kind of pause for a second after looking at these games and go, okay, we got a lot of really good players, a lot of really good pitchers that are in the WBC, and it's just. We're not as excited, I think, as we would be if those guys were walking around here. Yeah, we're not seeing Cal, we're not seeing Julio, we're not seeing Naylor, you're not seeing a Rosarena. All those guys are gone. Spire, Munoz, they're all gone. They're all out there playing. Canzone, Mastroboni. So a big chunk of your core is not here right now. Another guy, Rylan Thomas. Left fielder. He went 3 for 5 today, had an RBI, and he's looked really good. I know last night we were talking to, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, talking to Shannon, who's been down here forever, watching every batting practice, every game, and she's that's one of the guys that she mentioned. So, and he comes up with a big day today. Yeah, and he also had a nice catch in left field where it looked like he lost it in the sun a bit. He was backing up on the ball, and the sun was bright. You saw the outfielders today fighting the sun, and he looked like he may have lost it for a second, found it, and then caught it, tumbled over. So he stuck with it, made the catch. So that was good to see. But there's some challenging conditions out here, even though it's absolutely beautiful. The weather's great. You do have the wind and the sun out there that these guys are. You saw outfielders from both teams out there. Everybody's kind of converging on the ball with their mid up, and you're trying to figure out, all right, who's going to take charge here? You got the second baseman going into shallow center field. Center fielders coming in. Everybody's got their hands up, trying to block out the sun. I'm just like, okay, here comes a collision. Here it comes. But luckily none of that. But good. Just good to see the team play out there, even though it's not all your starters, all your normal team. It was good to see those guys out there, especially Brash getting his first taste of spring training out there and getting a chance, again, for me to see Brennan Davis, just to see what he looked like in person out there. He looks bigger than he's listed. Yeah, I was 6'1", 210, I think is what he's listed at. Yeah. Certainly from the broadcast booth, he looked a lot bigger than that. But hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with him and We'll stand back to back in person.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll do that. Let's measure. Come on, back to back.
Yeah, Brock Rodden also he ended up going 2 for 2 with an RBI today, and I was looking at that guy. He looks, I keep saying this, they look bigger than they're listed at, and he's
only
listed
like 5'8",
180.
Yeah, he's not a tall dude, but he got into one. He was one of the home runs and the back-to-back home runs, and then the triple from Connor Joe. So, all with 2 outs. So that was good to see. Meanwhile, this guy was part of a historic trade for the Mariners, and now he's back with the team as a coach. Austin Nola going to join us next with Wyman and Bob live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
Brock and Salk.
I got a text from a friend that said, I'm having a discussion with a buddy.
Morning 6 to 10.
He says the Mariners are better than last year. I told him I'd get your expert opinion. Well, I appreciate being labeled an expert in this case.
Did you answer?
I did answer.
On paper, you would see that this is a more mature team and a complete team.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10 on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Paddy's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live from Peoria, Arizona. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. SeattleSports.com. We get a chance to catch up with a guy. It feels like it was just yesterday he was in a Mariners uniform. And he is once again, but now as a coach, a bullpen coach. Austin Nola is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys. Beautiful weather today. Just finished a game.
Yeah, it's an amazing day out. How weird is it to be a coach? I mean, you were just playing last year.
Yeah.
You could have played this year. I believe you had an offer out there, and you just said, I'm going to be a coach. How tough was that decision?
It was tough, but watching the Mariners in the playoffs and longing to be part of, something that looked like was heading in a direction it's the Seattle people are probably extremely excited about. I couldn't turn it down. I knew coaching was coming at some point, but I mean, when Mariners called and just, the experience that I had here with the type of people, and I knew that it was only getting better and better, so it's just hard to beat.
In the NFL, it's always the backup quarterbacks are typically, head coaches and lots of catchers out there. Yeah. There's got to be kind of a little brotherhood, you guys, and you got one as your skipper there, Dan Wilson.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
We stay tight. The catchers stay tight. We interact with everybody in the whole organization pretty much, pitchers, position players. So, it's a fun position. It's you're always in the action every day.
Is the dream ultimately to be a manager, or have you thought that far ahead?
I hope so. It's been. I just wanted to get in. I just wanted to see what coaching was like. As a player, I really enjoyed it, but I knew that at some point I was probably gonna, have a calling this way.
Hey, it seems like typically when we talk about like bullpens, like league wide, they're sort of up and down, and the Mariners have been really consistent over the last 3-4 years. What do you think is the secret sauce there so far that you can tell?
The attack, throwing balls right over the plate, making hitters swing.
Yeah.
When you have good stuff like we have in our bullpen, we can go right after hitters. There's just what you're going to get, and I think that already gets hitters swinging when you know what you're going to get, and it's going to be hard. Yeah. Hard stuff with good breaking balls, and as a hitter, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, when you know what you're going to get and you're going to get that type of velocity, it's not good.
This franchise has had obviously a lot of great pitchers throughout the years, whether it's Randy, whether it's Felix, anybody you want to throw out there, James Paxton, all those guys. But 1 through 5, and just we'll get to the bullpen. But just looking at this starting rotation when healthy, is it as deep or as good as you've seen in baseball?
Yes, the fastballs for me. You got to be able to have a good fastball to be successful over long period of time as a starter, and we have the guys with good fastballs. They attack with their fastball. They have really good fastballs, and they throw it over the plate. And that is a separator for our starting rotation, because when you use your fastball, guys are forced to go up there and be ready to hit, which in turn gives us a good chance to pitch a lot longer throughout the year.
A couple of guys that would argue with you were Mariners, Jamie Moyer and Marco Gonzalez. Both those.
And they had great careers, really good careers. Yes.
Hey, what did you like out of Brash's outing today?
I couldn't see a ton from the bullpen, but I just know that he went out there and he attacked. He didn't walk anybody. At least I didn't. Did he walk anybody? I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Gave up one hit.
He gave up a hit.
Too.
Yeah, he got after guys, and that's what you want in spring training, guys, attacking the hitters, going after them, and just letting their stuff play over the plate, keeping everything in line, and keeping, on the attack is what we're preaching, and that's what we want those guys to do, and he did a great job today.
What do you look for as a player and now as a coach in terms of how do you view numbers in spring training? We're always taught, it's spring. You can't put too much into whether they're great or whether they look terrible. Guys are working on things. As a player, was that your mentality, and does that carry over to a coach?
Yeah, you try to, focus on what's the process that's going to get my numbers where they need to be, and you try to, tweak those processes in spring training to find what's the most, the sweet spot of the getting those numbers where you're kind of trending. I always said in spring training you want to feel hungry, a little bit of hunger. When you go into the season, you don't want to have a year of spring training where you hit 600 and have 10 home runs because you don't go into the season hungry. Yeah. And I'm sure on the pitching side it's similar. You want to go out there and have some outings where you give up some hits and you have, some traffic, because you want to go into the season with a little bit of edge versus just feeling like, I got to figure it out. I dominated spring training. It's kind of a false sense of security.
Yeah.
What's the sort of typical mentality of a bullpen pitcher? Having interviewed guys like Seawald over the years, it's like usually they're very self-effacing, and they kind of have good sense of humor. You got to be able to, be strong mentally. What are the things that stand out to you in good bullpen pitchers?
Yeah, the confidence. They don't need a ton down there. They know what their job is, and they go out there and they're confident. They don't need a bunch of throws to get ready and see success happen in the bullpen. It's what I've noticed is that it's already there, and it's just getting warmed up to go dominate and compete in the game. And that's what I noticed in the good bullpen guys is they just go out there and they truly believe in their stuff, and they believe that the guy in the box is not going to hit it.
Yeah. I'm curious to get your reaction as a catcher, because you know better than anybody the demands physically of that position and mentally. You're the general out there. To watch what Cal Raleigh did last year, to play the number of games that he did behind the plate and do what he did in the way of production, what was your reaction to that? Were you just shaking your head every night? How tough is that at that position?
I don't know if it'll, ever be done again, what he did, as far as it was historical. How he played every game, pretty much the way he caught, no pass balls, minimum. I don't know if he had any errors. He hit 60 home runs. He was the team leader, drove in runs. I don't know if we'll ever see a season like that again. It was a historical season. It's unheard of as the catching position. I could barely catch 4 in a row, without hurting. And then by the 4th game, my swing was going through water. Cal was going on probably 8 in a row in his swing. He's still hitting 3 home runs in a game. Historical is all I can say for that.
Set the bar pretty high. Now if he hits 40, people go, he had a down year.
Come on. If there's anybody that's going to do it, it's Cal. Again.
We talked to Cade Anderson yesterday, LSU guy. And I've heard that, Texas is the football state, in the United States, and then Louisiana's the baseball state. And you got drafted out of high school, right? And then, ended up going to LSU. And is that maybe the best or closest program to playing in the major leagues, LSU?
Yeah, because you go to Omaha a lot, and I think Omaha is probably the closest you get to a major league game.
Yeah.
College stadiums around the league and around, the United States are, even LSU, we got, 11,000 in a game, and it does not feel like the big leagues. It's loud, don't get me wrong, and they have a care factor that's different, but the more you play in Omaha, the closer it gets to the big leagues. And LSU play a lot in Omaha, and you win a lot in Omaha.
Yeah, it's a good place to end up in college. Yeah,
if you want to go to Omaha, you want to see what it looks like. The big leagues somewhat looks like.
Yeah,
Omaha is the closest you're going to get.
Just looking at this team, they got so close last year. The city was going bananas. Just talking about Mariner Mania, 8 outs away. Is this a team I look at from the outside and I go, this is a better team entering the season than they were certainly the one entering last season. I don't know how in touch you were with last year's version of the team, but how would you compare the two?
Yeah, I got a chance to play in the championship series as a player, and it battle tests you when you work your way that far, and one step away from the World Series. It tests you a lot as a team, and watching the Mariners and on TV, and getting to be around the guys, they're tested, and through tests you grow, and I can see the hunger that we're not done yet, and that's what I see as a team that has gone through some adversity, gone through getting almost there. It does something to you, and it gives you confidence of we know we're close, we know it's right there, and when we hit adversity, we know that we're going to come out of it. And I think that's big. Is when you hit adversity, do you really have the belief that you're going to come out of it and come out on top? And I think we got it.
Austin, what's the best pitch that you think that comes out of the bullpen this year? Is it the slider from Brash? What's the one where you're like, that one is special? I know it's asking, to pick your favorite kid.
Yeah.
But is it Brash's slider? Is it – I'll give you choices.
I'm a fastball guy. I like a good fastball. I like a good Mooney fastball at 100. Or a Brash fastball at 100. I can go down the line, our guys, with their fastballs of how good their fastballs are. A good fastball makes everything that much better.
Yeah. Hey, last one before we let you go. Just as far as being a coach and working your way through that process, is there a lot you looked at? I took this from Scott Service, and I took this from this guy. I took this element of how they coach, and maybe in some cases I'm not going to do that. I didn't think that was effective. Have you kind of created your own coaching style based on who you've interacted with throughout your career?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. I've had a lot of good managers and spent a lot of time, around clubhouses and talking to players. And, my brother, I'm talking to him a lot, and just understanding that every player is different, and you can't treat every player the same. And getting to know them and being part of it and leading is it's hard to do. And you just have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, because you can't just have it all figured out the first time you do it. And so I'm really looking forward to the learning process of it, because it's different, it's new, and I'm going to work just as hard as it is as a player to be the best I can be here.
Well, it's cool to have you back. It looks natural being in a Seattle Mariners uniform.
It feels natural. It feels
great.
Like
home. Right?
Yeah, it does feel like home. Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate it so much, man. Thanks so much for the time, and hopefully we get a chance to talk again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Austin Nola, now a member of this Mariners coaching staff. Meanwhile, it turns out to be the biggest move in the NFL this past week didn't actually happen. We'll hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
All week long, Wyman and Bob are broadcasting live from Mariners spring training in Peoria, Arizona. Every afternoon starting at 2.
I cannot wait to get down there.
The expectations,
based on what we saw last year, what they've done in the offseason, that's not kooky talk, Dave.
No, it's not.
Your favorite Mariners.
If you want to get here and you want to do this, you have to have those expectations.
Wyman and Bob, live at Mariners spring training all week long on the home of your AL West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Harley Exteriors. And, it's funny how you get used to things that are in not so ideal condition around the house. For some people, it's a messy garage or a leaning fence. And for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. And we got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in that same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. They have the spring cleaning sale going on right now. To complete your home makeover, if you buy 10 windows, you can choose from 20% off your entire project or a free door. And on top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade. They're manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest, and they're exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Also, you're going to work with some really good people. I've really enjoyed working with them. So call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation and get a bid from Harley. That's harleyexteriors.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
High five. Up top.
Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Heck yeah!
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Yes!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Join the Seattle Sports Commission for a star-studded fundraising event featuring the athletes and icons of Washington sports. Experience red carpet interviews, sports exhibits, a silent auction, and live awards show created for the sports community by the sports community, all while supporting the nonprofit power of Seattle sports. Don't miss your chance to be among the stars on March 13th at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year presented by Microsoft. Get your tickets now at seattlesports.org.
Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, Max Crosby getting traded to the Ravens was massive news until it wasn't, because yesterday we found out the Ravens backed out of the Max Crosby trade, and today NFL Network's Ian Rappaport explained what led to them backing out of this trade.
The recovery from a meniscus repair is months, not weeks. So if you trade for Max Crosby, you have a belief that he is not going to be fully healthy, but that he's going to be far enough along where you feel confident that his knee is going to be fine. This decision, which the Raiders say that the Ravens have made, is an indication that they do not believe it is going to be fine. It is a lot to invest in a pass rusher. It is 2 first-round picks. It is a historic trade, the first time they've ever traded a first-rounder for any player. And it appears that the Ravens are just not comfortable with what they found during the medical exams for Max Crosby. So the trade is now off.
I think that's our answer if we're going to ask John if he was in the race for the trade for Max Crosby, because John is, I won't say paranoid, but like he's very particular about health issues. So, yeah, that's one thing that kind of stood out to me about that story.
Well, yeah, I would imagine any team is going to be very leery and do their due diligence.
Yeah, but time after time we've seen John just stay away from, I mean, there's been lots of questions, why not this guy, why not that guy? And he doesn't touch those kinds of players. That's been kind of the way that he's been. He's just extra picky.
Yeah, which is good. And even guys that do have that reputation, they do their homework. I mean, even Worry had some injury concerns. Torrey Horton had some injury concerns, certainly. So they brought in guys that sort of came with that. But in this case, you're giving up draft capital, and you're paying this guy a whole bunch of money as well. So,
well, I think, yeah, definitely. And then, and I think, look, everybody, you're going to have, you can't be. I mean, I think he's more picky than other clubs, but everybody's obviously picky about that because, it's the one thing that you can just check. You either check a box or not. And it seems to me that over the years he's been one of those guys that just stays away from those kinds of players.
Sweeping the dial.
Kyler Murray's release became official today, the official start of free agency, despite all the moves happening on Monday. So the Vikings have now been rumored to be the favorite to land Kyler Murray. And this morning on Get Up, ESPN's Dominic Foxworth thinks that if they get him, the Vikings will be as good as the Rams in the NFC.
I'm not sure that Kyler has to change the way that he plays as much as O'Connell has to change the way that he coaches. When Kyler is playing well, he's as good as just about anybody in football. So if they can find a way to sustain that success that he's had MVP level runs
2 years ago
for over 6, 7, 8 games. So I guess in my mind, if you can create that, we're looking at the best team right up there with the Rams in the NFC. Like this could change.
You think Minnesota, if Kyler's playing at a high level, is just as good as the Rams?
Absolutely. I know the defense is going to be good. You get Justin Jefferson at the highest level possible. If Kyler Murray can play his best football, #1 overall drafted quarterback for an extended period of time, they are as good as the Rams.
Definitely a hot take. It's total nonsense.
I think he's taken a lot of shots to the head.
Yeah,
early in his career.
The Vikings as compared to the Rams. I mean, yeah, I don't get that, and especially if the conversation comes along with Kyler Murray, and maybe we're a little bit jaded. I know that over the years we've not been a fan on this show anyway of Kyler Murray, but yeah, I guess he's trying to. Well, I mean, mission accomplished. He's on our show. He's on our show, uttering total nonsense.
Yeah, I mean. Kyler Murray's got ability. We've seen it. We've talked about it, but it's more of what's going on between the ears in his attitude and his leadership or lack thereof, leadership skills. I don't know. Does that change? Is this a wake-up call for him? Does he become a different person? Is he introspective? Does he look at himself and go, what, why didn't that work in Arizona? How much of that was my fault? What did I do wrong? What could I have changed, or what could I change to salvage this career? And, maybe if he goes down that road, maybe he does become a leader, but he never really showed that in Arizona. So I don't know. If you believe he's cured and he's just done the work, so to speak, on himself, I guess he could be that guy. But coming out of his mouth, it sounds like kooky talk to me.
Sweeping the dial.
Well, this started making the rounds last night in the midst of Team USA getting blown out by Italy. They did, of course, come back, but they lost 8-6. So Mark DeRosa, who is on that morning show on MLB Network, Hot Stove, he had hopped on yesterday morning before the game to talk with his co-host there, and here he kind of mistakenly believes or misspeaks in saying that Team USA has already clinched a spot in the quarterfinals.
Absolutely. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to get some guys off their feet, no question about it. I'd like to get Goldie a start, and, he has been awesome, just a leader of men behind the scenes with Aaron Judge. I'd like to get him in there. I'd like to get Gunnar in there again. Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our tickets punched to the quarterfinals, because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. So the way the schedule lines up, this is an important game for us. Nola McLean will start. He's on the bump and he's good to go.
Yeah, he didn't misspeak because he said our tickets punched. It was, and then his lineup kind of showed you that he believed he had a spot clinched. As he put Goldschmidt in there, he's getting Gunnar Henderson in there, Pete Crow Armstrong. So his lineup said, I'm getting some guys off their feet. I'm going to get these guys some reps because we're already good. We already got that ticket punched. I'm not sure how that happens. I could see, one guy, even if it's the manager, getting it wrong, but what about the guys around him on his coaching staff?
I was going to say.
Saying, zero. No.
Well, maybe he didn't run it past him first. That could be, but I thought the same thing. I'm like, hey, it's like Happy Gilmore. Where were you on that one, Philippe?
Knucklehead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was that's
so bad for him.
Yeah, he's taking a beating.
He's a great dude. He does a really good job. But yeah, that maybe consult your assistant coaches.
Yeah, he's wearing it today. It's been all over the place. So we'll see how things go tonight and this afternoon with Italy and Mexico.
They are salvaging DeRosa right now. They're bailing him out. 2-0 Italy, going to the bottom of the fourth.
And give me quickly the particular.
So if Italy wins, it's all good for Team USA. If Mexico scores 4 runs or fewer, it'll be Mexico and Italy because the tiebreaker is defensive runs allowed, like the fewest runs allowed.
Right.
So if Mexico scores a lot, then Italy would have allowed more runs. They're eliminated. But if Mexico scores 1, 2, 3, or 4 runs and wins, which I guess they can't now. So if they win 3-2 or 4-2, it's Italy and Mexico. If Mexico scores 5 runs or more, it's Mexico and Italy. But right now, Italy's winning. That's all that matters. It'd be Italy undefeated, USA second.
Well,
can you write that down for me?
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys a test at the end of the show. So I hope you wrote all of that down. Meanwhile, there was news today that will affect the Mariners. We'll get into that coming up. But we got a chance to speak to a guy that we don't hear from very often. In fact, we spoke to him a couple of years ago out at Edgar's, and he's a guy that everybody points to as being a wizard, as being an absolute magician and working with players at the major league level. That is Perry Hill, and he's going to join us next with Wyman and Bob live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike 3 called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and you guys have heard Dave and I talking about our injuries, surgery, things like that, and for good reason. It stinks to be walking around in pain, right? I know a lot of you are experiencing that, and if you're looking at surgery, put a pause on that for just a moment and check out Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I'm glad I did because I thought I was at the end of the road with my hip. It had been bugging me for years. I'd tried physical therapy. I'd tried steroid injections. And there was just too much happening in there. I took all the imaging to Dr. Wagner after hearing all the testimonials with Dave and people that he had spoken with. So I said, let me check into this. He took a look at all the imaging and said, I can help you. I can help you. It's not going to cure everything. He was very honest. But he said it's going to go a long way into alleviating the pain you're feeling. And, boy, did he undersell that because I feel as good as new. And he did that stem cell procedure on my hip. It's been a game changer. You've heard so many people talk about it here, raving about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, who is the most experienced in the Northwest. He's a board-certified physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell cell procedures. He only uses your own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in your own joints. So people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, get back to doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Child custody is the most emotional issue our clients face. And if you're a divorcing father, the relationship with your children is about to change. But that change doesn't have to be for the worse. Kids already feel the stress of parents who don't get along, but they can thrive after a divorce. Kids trust their dads. Their dads trust Goldberg Jones. Go to goldbergjones.com to get your questions answered at no charge. goldbergjones.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're showing you the green for St. Patty's Day. Right now, find your pot of gold with exciting savings on saltwater hot tubs. Best of all, you'll get 5 full years to pay for it interest-free. Wow! Don't let your luck run out. This limited event ends St. Patrick's Day. Visit us today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, seattlegolfshow.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Green Bay Packers adding to their defense, their new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, happy about this as they agreed to terms with now former Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle Javon Hargrave. according to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Speaking with Adam Schefter, Hargrave agreed to a 2-year, $23 million deal, which includes $13 million in the first year. He was officially released by the Vikings today, so didn't stay unemployed long. Meanwhile, Bobby Hurley's tenure at Arizona State is over after 11 up-and-down seasons. ASU athletic director Graham Rossini announced today that Hurley's contract will not be renewed. This is just hours after the Sun Devils blowout 91-42 loss to number 7 Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Another glorious day out here, Dave. Perfect time for baseball, and we've been wanting to talk to this guy for a while. We had him out at Edgar's a few years ago, and he just deferred all of the credit. We kept trying to give him credit. He's like, no, don't talk about me. We finally got him to join us once again. He's a wizard. He's a wizard when it comes to teaching how to field a ball. In the
You're going to run him off the stage.
No, I'm not.
Stop complimenting
him. This guy is beloved in this town. He's a legend, and he's with us. Perry Hill is here. How are you, man?
Great. Thanks for having me.
It's good to talk to you. How much do you look forward to spring training and just getting a chance to work with young guys, getting a chance to work with guys who are still kind of, I don't know, raw clay, if you will, trying to kind of mold them?
Well, the positive thing for me is it keeps me young.
Yeah.
I'm around all these youngsters, and, I love the teaching aspect of the game. So really spring training is big for me. I get to see a lot of bodies and a lot of prospects and work with those guys as well as our veteran players. So it's a good mix, and it's a fun time for me to be in spring training.
Hey, I liked it when you were over here throwing the balls off the side. You got another place to go now?
They built me a wall. Yeah. I think the cafeteria workers were tired of hearing me.
That's right.
The guys trying to eat breakfast and lunch and the balls. So they built my own wall over there just a little ways down the sidewalk here.
But that's like a staple for you. I mean, is that maybe, where have you picked up all your drills and all your coaching over the years? Like what are some of the oldest tried and true techniques and teachings that you have?
Well, I'm one of those guys, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I learned off a wall.
Okay.
So the thing about that is once we go out on the field, spring training is regimented. You don't want to keep the guys out here all day long. So basically I get 20 minutes per day for my individual infield defense. So I really don't have time to stop and correct or demonstrate something. Then it takes away the reps from the whole group. So I use the wall in the morning to bring guys out one by one. I throw a ball against the wall, and we work on those things and iron them out or teach something new or correct them, or even if they're perfect, we just do it for maintenance. So once I go out in here on the field for that 20 minutes, I don't have to do a lot of stopping and talking and demonstrating. I want to make sure the guys get a lot of repetitions in. So the wall's where I do my teaching.
It was interesting because I was just talking to Jerry about the advancements in pitching, and I asked him, is there anything you were taught when you were pitching that you look at today and go, whoa, that was the wrong way to do it? And he had a couple of examples. What about you? Things maybe you were taught or were teaching, 20, 30 years ago that you look at today and go, yeah, that's not the way to do it? Or has everything kind of stayed true from what it was back then?
It's been kind of a staple for me, but as the game has changed and new rules have come in, I've had to make adjustments. For instance, you always used to straddle the base when you took a throw from the catcher on the guy stealing the base. But now if the ball goes up the line a little bit and you step, you're actually in front of the base. You're blocking the base. You can't do that anymore. So you can't have a body part in front of the base. So I've had to adjust by putting the infielders in front of the base. Things like that. The rule changes sometimes force you to make adjustments in your teachings that you really might not want to do, but the rules dictate that you have to do.
But technique-wise, nothing's really changed in terms of your approach, and this is the right way to do it 20 years to now.
No, fielding ground ball is the same for me. It's been, for a long time.
We talked to Brendan Donovan, or I heard an interview that Shannon did, and he had to get used to you screaming, "Stop it," at him. I love that story, and I know that we've heard that from you in the past. But, talk about your relationship with him and that guy coming in. I mean, it sounds like he's just an absolute grinder.
Oh, he's the definition of a grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to work on something every day. He's a tremendous work ethic. And he's played some third base before, but mainly with St. Louis, he was their second baseman.
Right.
So, it has some different work to put in. It's a different angle. In the middle of the field, you can see almost everything. At third base, you're kind of blocked off. So that down and in sinker that the right-handed hitter swings, it's getting to you in a heartbeat. Yeah. So you have to learn to look at a different spot instead of front of home plate, like on the inside corner. So he's got different little nuances he's got to learn.
Well, just for our listeners, what does stop it mean to you?
Stop it means that it's something that we've worked on, and now you've gotten so good at it, I can't take it anymore. Stop it.
It's so good. Stop.
It means stop it. It's so good I can't take it anymore. But going back a couple of years when Gino first got here, is I worked with him for about a week, and I finally, we tweaked some things, and we got it. And so one day we were hitting the ground balls and doing the stuff, and I kept saying, stop it, Gino, stop it. And so he didn't say anything to me, but I remember he went into did an interview with all the media, and he kept telling me stop it. I thought I was doing it good.
Yeah. That's what Brendan said that same thing. He's like, I thought I was pretty good on that one. He's telling me stop it.
Yeah. I should do a better job of explaining that.
Well, as long as your guys understand it, that's good.
Hey, I'm sure it's unique to each guy you work with, but I would think if you've got a veteran, a guy that's been in the league for a number of years, they come here and you're looking at something maybe with their footwork and you want to change it. That's probably harder than working with a young kid who's more raw, and you can work somebody who's established and said, well, this is how I've always done it and I've been successful, and you're telling them, well, maybe you should try it like this. How hard is that at times to work with somebody?
Well, if you trade for a player and you bring him over here and the first day you want to change everything, his mind is, what'd you trade for me for if I'm not any good,
Right.
So I don't say a word. Most of the time they hear me talking to the guys that have been here that have come up for my system. And so then they hear me saying these things over and over and over, and then they start asking questions. What do you mean? Why do you say that? And that just opens the door, and I go right in. Yeah.
Take advantage of that opening as soon as they're curious.
Yes. But I don't ever have a guy join us, and like the second day I say, hey, you can't do that. You got to do this. I just do my thing with the other guys. Eventually they start asking questions, and then that's when you make suggestions, and most of the time they'll buy in.
Hey, Coach, a guy like J.P. Crawford, to me, I mean, he looks like almost like he's an artist. Like he sometimes goes sort of outside of maybe what fundamentals are. And, do you see that in him? Because I remember last year he got some snag and he kind of almost did like the worm to get himself up off the ground and pitch the ball.
Yeah.
And, guys like that have like that certain kind of form, you just kind of adapt to that.
I talk about the box a lot. I don't know if you've ever heard me speak, but I talk about the box a lot. And what the box is where we position a player to play. Then I go like 6 or 7 steps this way, 6 or 7 steps the other way, come in about 6 or 7 or 8, and then I connect it. I make a box.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put the player there because we think that's where the ball's going to be hit. So I stress making the plays in the box. If you make the plays in the box, the starting pitcher maybe stays in there an extra inning because those should be outs. It gives him extra pitches. It doesn't tax the bullpen enough. The bullpen's not in the game in the 4th or 5th if we make those plays every time. So it kind of has a trickle-down effect. Now, sometimes, the positioning or it's a bad pitch or the ball goes outside the box. That's when you let the player become an athlete. And that's the play you were talking about with JP. He went outside the box many times last year, but the play I think you're talking about is when he caught it and then he glove flipped it.
Yes.
And then the second baseman who followed the play got the guy at first.
Right.
So that's an example of plays outside the box. Gotcha. You just become an athlete. You do what happens.
Right.
But I really stress the play box. If we make those plays in the box, it keeps our starting pitcher in the game longer. He doesn't have to throw as many pitches. You don't tax the bullpen. The game flows better. It just has a trickle-down effect.
How are you during a game if you see, I don't know, say JP, since we're talking about him, what if he just fires one over Naylor's head? Do you talk to him as soon as he comes into the dugout? Do you say anything, or do you just wait if they come up to you and say, hey, what did I do? Did I drop my elbow there? How do you approach mistakes or
Never.
plays?
Errors are a part of the game. These guys don't try to make errors. The other thing is he may be one of the first 2 or 3 hitters that inning. I want him thinking about the pitcher, what he's going to do, what his plan is. He's going to hit. we're through with defense now.
Right.
You know, I always talk about you got to be able to separate the three areas of the game. You got to separate offense, defense, and base running. You can't take one that you maybe had a bad play on and take it and let it spill over to the other one. So, no, I don't say anything. The only time I say something to a player in a game is if they're out of position on a cutoff or a relay or a bunt play, because that's controllable. You should always be in the right position on a cutoff relay or a bunt play. Sometimes the ball hits a spike mark, it bounces up. You know, things like that happen sometimes. But because we do a ground ball routine every single day, I know the guys put the work in, and we work hard, every one of them, every single day. So, I mean, sometimes those things happen.
Yeah, how big of a deal is it for, how much coaching do you do? It's just like what you just talked about. Guy has a bat at bat or whatever, and, you just like let it go. Do you talk to those guys? Same question really is, you wait for them to come up to you? Because you can't let the old saying, you can't let the same play beat you twice.
Right. I'd never say anything about a play during the game unless a player approaches me.
Yeah.
Because, like I'm saying, they got to go back out there. I don't want them thinking about that play. That play's over. It's done. Yeah. Let's make the next one. Right. Let's don't compound the problem. But if they ask me, I'll give them a little brief. I won't make a big, long, drawn-out thing because I want them to concentrate on their next at bat. Yeah. Or maybe they're going out to the field. I want them to worry about the next play and making the next play. So I try not to have any negatives during the course of a game.
Is there a position that's harder to teach than the other, in your opinion? If you've got a guy who's a utility guy who can play multiple spots, but like even Donovan you're talking about, primarily second base, outfield, third base, not as much. Would it be easier if he were playing first base, if that was the new spot versus third base?
No, it's just different views and different angles you take on the field. I mean, I can make it sound simple, like a ground ball's a ground ball, but there's different angles you have to take, and the way you have to manipulate your body sometimes. Like a right-handed first baseman has to manipulate his body to throw a second, where a left-handed first baseman is already facing there.
Right.
It's much easier. So, there's some nuances that you have to teach, and some maybe have a little trouble with. And I always use this example, is that I get this question a lot, is it harder for a shortstop to go to second base as for a second baseman to go to shortstop? And my answer is, I think it's more difficult from a shortstop to go to second than a second baseman to go to short. And they always think, well, it's a shorter throw, that should be easier. But if you stop and think about it, a shortstop, everything he does is in front of him. Everything he does. You think about a second baseman, sometimes has to catch the ball and turn his body around to throw it to the shortstop on a double play. He has to run away from first base when he's going to cover second for a steal. He has to run away from first base when he wants to turn a double play and get to second base. So he's got to manipulate his body in all different kind of angles and nuances that a lot of times the guys on the left field of the diamond, of the left side of the diamond, don't have to do, because most everything is in front of them.
Right.
Seems like you really know your players and all the different personalities. And one of the more interesting guys that we talked to last year was Josh Naylor. When he first came in, he told us that T-Mobile Park's a hitter's park. And then he really endeared himself to the fans and everything. And he's very direct, like he just has a very, I don't want to say quirky, but, it's hilarious. I mean, he's a great interview. But tell us what you've seen from him and his personality and how much he's helped your infield.
He's a student of the game. He studies all parts of the game. Yeah. And if you'll watch him when he's not hitting, he'll be talking to another player or somebody that's not playing the game and trying to point something out. He's a very smart player. Great work ethic. Somehow, somewhere down the line, he got a bad rap as a bad defensive first baseman, which he is not. He's very good, and stole 30 bases too. So there's a lot of different things to like about Nails.
When you look back and maybe as a kid watching baseball, growing up playing, who were the infielders you look at and go, man, that guy was one of a kind, regardless of position? Who were some of the infielders?
I don't know that anybody listening to this broadcast would know those names.
I mean, are you talking like Brooks Robinson, Mike Schmidt?
I'm 73 years old, So, Bobby Grich, Mark Belanger, Brooks Robinson.
Yeah, Bobby Grich played for the Angels, yeah?
Yeah, the Angels and the Orioles, yeah. So, those kind of guys that probably, unless you're my age, you don't recognize their names.
Yeah. How about in today's game? Anybody beyond the Mariners that you look at and go, man, that guy is That guy is the real deal in the field.
They're good, but I like my guys. I don't
like
like
the
guys. Yeah, I like my guys.
I love it. Hey, Perry, what was your first job in Major League Baseball?
First job in Major League was infield coach. I've coached first base, infield coach for 27 years. I was the third base coach, infield coach in Detroit for 3 years. But my first job is I was a rookie ball coach in Butte, Montana.
Wow.
And then I was a ball coach in Daytona Beach, Florida. And then I became the infield rover coordinator for the Rangers, traveling around all the minor league teams. And then eventually I tricked some people that I think they thought I knew what I was doing. And my first shot in the big leagues was 92, and knock on wood, I'm still here.
Who was that with in 92?
Rangers. The
Okay.
Rangers. Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
So what kind of player were you as a kid growing up?
I could catch the ball, could run a little bit, no power. You know, there's a lot of players like me back then.
Did you play all over the infield?
I was a middle infielder, shortstop.
Shortstop.
Second. But what I did, though, is like when other players would go out for extra work, I would always go. I wasn't going to ever play first base, but I went, tried to pick up as much as I could.
Just to learn
develop
the
my
nuances
theory.
of it?
Yeah, develop my theories. And an interesting story with our AAA manager, John Russell. He was a catcher for the Rangers when I was there as the infield coach. And I knew that John Russell would manage in the big leagues one day. So when I took Billy Ripken or whoever I took out for early or late work, I would always make him come. And he didn't like me for about a week. But I said, look, you're managing the big leagues. You need to learn all this. And then about 15 years later, he's the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I'm sorry, Bone. You're right. Okay. Yeah. But, it doesn't hurt to learn other positions.
Why did they call you Bone, Coach? Where did that come from?
Okay.
When did you first get that nickname?
You got 3 minutes for a story?
Sure. Oh, we got time.
Okay. Well, don't ask me why, but when I was a little kid, my dad's favorite meal was fried chicken. Every Saturday night we had fried chicken. So I would eat the drumsticks or the legs of the chicken and ask to be excused because I wanted to go outside and play. So I'd take my plate, put it in the sink, but I would always grab the bone off my plate and walk around the house with it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Don't ask me why. I just did. And so I would go outside, I'd drop it in a trash can, and then go outside and play. Well, one night, I had a buddy spend the night with me. It was Saturday night, so we had fried chicken. So we ate our dinner. We asked my dad if we could be excused from the table. So my friend put his plate in the sink. I put mine in. I grabbed the bone. And we started walking through the house. We were going back to my bedroom to get our gloves and ball. We were going to go out and play catch. So halfway to my bedroom, my friend says, "What are you doing?" I can remember this conversation like it was yesterday. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Let's go get our gloves. We'll go play catch. He goes, "You got a bone in your hand." See where this is going, right? And I said, "Yeah, I know. We'll get our gloves. I'll drop it in the trash can on our way out." So I did. That was the end of it. Went to school the next Monday, and as soon as I walked in the hallway, there's bone, and it stuck. That's the story.
All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you have you ever had aspirations throughout your career of like, hey, I want to manage one day?
Never.
Or that doesn't look appealing to you at all?
No. I'm a one-trick pony.
That's it. Just
I like the other parts of the game. I like to watch it, study it, but I'm a one-trick pony.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I had a really good coach in the NFL that, he was kind of in line to be a head coach, but he liked being a defensive coordinator, and he just knew it's about knowing yourself, right?
It's exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, what about the support staff and how you've seen like technology and things over the years develop? You have all kinds of different coaches and in the training room and all that stuff. This franchise seems to be one that really invests in the players and in the staff.
Yep.
Tell us about how you think they compare to around the league.
This is the most progressive organization I've ever been with.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they leave no stone unturned. They got analysts for everything. Right. They give us numbers and data that we use to try to make our players better. Right. So, I mean, you still have to teach them how to field a ground ball or something, but maybe they're not getting to some balls that the league average says they should get to. So then we start looking at their ready position and are they ready when the ball's in the hitting zone and blah, blah, blah. So it's a huge help for us.
Yeah. Hey, how did last year stack up for you just in terms of enjoyment? You've been in this league a long time, as you talked about. I mean, for us on the outside as a fan, as a broadcaster, that was the most fun I've ever had covering a team last year. Where did that rank for you?
Second. Here we go.
I think that was JP.
Yeah, it was.
Stop it.
Here we go. There's nothing like playing August, September baseball when it's close and it's tight, and there's nothing like playing playoff baseball. You know, I was fortunate enough that I won a World Series 2003 with the Marlins, and there's nothing like being in the playoffs. And like those games against Detroit and Toronto were just, magical. You know, the atmosphere, the pressure, knowing you may not play tomorrow, or you have to keep going. You know, it's really cool feeling. You know, it's what every player and coach dreams for.
So that was the number one season, obviously.
The Marlins, yeah, because we won.
Yeah,
beat the Yankees. That was Steve Bartman year in Chicago where we beat the Cubs, and then we went and beat the Yankees. But that has to be number one because we did it. You know, but last year and. Ranks right up there because it was so exciting. And to be honest, the fan base in Seattle is the best. I mean, they bring it every single game. They're so loud and enthusiastic. It's a distinct home advantage.
Do you remember every player? I coached high school football, and, these kids were 16, 17, and like 15 years later they come up and go, "Hey, coach." And I'm like, "You're a grown man. I don't recognize you now." But
that does happen sometimes. I don't recognize. But the embarrassing part, because I'm so old, is sometimes I'll have a kid come up and say, "You coach my dad." And he says, "Okay, that's not funny."
Hey, I told Rick Riz this. That means you've been doing an excellent job for a really long time. That's all that means, man.
Well, Perry, it's fun to catch up with you. I know you don't love doing the media stuff, so we really appreciate you cutting out time for us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
There you go, the great Perry Hill, everybody. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, click on our picture, and it's right there waiting. And don't forget, click subscribe. It's totally free. And that way, if you forget about anything, it just shows up for you. It's a beautiful process. Meanwhile, there was news today that will affect the Mariners' rotation over the next few weeks. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
9 out of 10 experts agree wearing earbuds at work is the universal signal for leave me alone. So grab the earbuds, pull up the Seattle Sports app, and trade that annoying coworker's endless yapping for this.
He's at the wall. Cal Raleigh's first one of the spring.
Listen to every Mariners spring training game live for free, only on the Seattle Sports app. Improving lives through Mariners baseball, one
sparkling play by Josh Naylor
at a time.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and for local men recently diagnosed with prostate cancer, several treatment options are available. And I recently had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Robert Meyer. He's a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we spoke about the great work being done by Swedish Cyberknife, and Dr. Meyer, he said patients experience fewer side effects compared with other treatments, and this CyberKnife treatment is complete after only 5 sessions, each lasting less than an hour. And patients are treating their prostate cancer in only 1 week with minimal interruption to their lives. Many don't even take time off of work to undergo treatment. The CyberKnife targets the prostate cancer only, sparing vital surrounding organs. Swedish Cyberknife has been offering the CyberKnife treatment in Seattle for over 10 years, and they've treated over 1,000 prostate cancer patients, some of them listening right now. So if diagnosed with prostate cancer, learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer treatment at swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience. Unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave of Cantor Diamond. At our by appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service to your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 253-272-7007. That's 253-272-7007. Or follow them on Instagram at Cantor Diamond. That's at Kantor Diamond.
Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors with savings up to 20% on new windows and doors for your home. Plus, enjoy easy 12-month same-as-cash financing. Strike gold today. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? But do you have a room just sitting empty and you've dreamt of making it your own home gym? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. It's no secret why everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have everything from flooring to weights that go in a home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here to get you in the best shape, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ Way.
Don't miss Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League Baseball.
This could be two. JP has it, goes to the bag, steps on second, fires to first, double play.
Broadcast times at seattlesports.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're showing you the green for St. Patty's Day. Right now, find your pot of gold with exciting savings on saltwater hot tubs. Best of all, you'll get 5 full years to pay for it interest-free. Wow! Don't let your luck run out. This limited event ends St. Patrick's Day. Visit us today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Get away from it all and discover a place where good times are guaranteed. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining at the steakhouse. Catch your favorite sports on our wall-to-wall screens and sink into pure relaxation at the spa. Tee up at Loomis Trail for championship-caliber golf and experience your favorite musicians live at the Event Center. Visit SilverReefCasino.com and book your stay today. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Peoria, Arizona. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Our thanks to Austin Nola, who joined us earlier in the program, who was obviously a catcher for this team at one point, part of a big trade to San Diego, and now he's a bullpen coach with the Mariners. So if you missed any of that, that's on the podcast page, as well as our conversation with Perry Hill, who we don't get a chance to hear from very often. So very cool to hear from him as well. You can also find that conversation on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, more concerning news with Bryce Miller. He was supposed to throw a bullpen today and didn't even throw a pitch. They were playing catch. He was working his way up to throwing the bullpen, and he felt a little tightness in that oblique. Talked with his coaches there at the back of the mound, and they pulled the plug on it for the day. And Justin Hollander is, he's not sounding overly concerned. He said, this is rehab. This is part of it. He talked about the training staff told Bryce that if you feel anything at all, don't push through it. That's not where you're at in this process. So after feeling fine leading up to the bullpen, he felt what he said was a little tightness there. So they basically are shutting it down right now. They said he's not going to stop throwing. Hollander said it's all part of the progression. Some days you feel tightness, we'll back it down. Some days you feel great, like you're ready to take the next step. He wasn't ready to take the next step today. Smartly said, I'm not ready to take that next step today, so we'll try again in a couple days. So Miller apparently will take a step back. He will not be shut down, according to Hollander, who estimated we'd throw another what they call touch and feel bullpen in 3 or 4 days, and if all goes well, then a full bullpen session will follow 3 days after that.
Yeah, Shannon, great article, and it's just frustrating because we went through that last year, and like, oh boy, here we go again. But yeah, with Bryce Miller, and his seemed to me to be particularly confusing last year. Like he really chased it around, and then thought it was maybe something in his head, and or some the coaches did. So yeah, I mean, just they're being as careful as they possibly can, but yeah, it's just bad news. Mostly we've had good news coming out of this camp, but this one not so much.
Well, yeah, and I think what's clear just based on the amount of time left in spring training that he's not going to start the season. He's not going to make his first start. So
That's
whether
what it's looking like,
whether he starts on the IL, how they're going to handle that, who's going to be the person. The obvious candidate is Emerson Hancock, who only has one option left. So they've got to figure out what they're going to do. Keep him on the roster, keep him in the bullpen as maybe a long relief guy at some point. I don't know how they're going to handle that with his options. And then they've got Cooper Criswell is a guy that has been working toward being stretched out. He can work out of the bullpen. He can work as a starter. So those are the first two names that come up when you're talking about, jumping in there. I know we've been talking about the young guys, Cade Anderson, Ryan Sloan. They're not going to be first up. It's going to be Hancock. It'll be somebody like Criswell. And then depending on how long it goes, how much they're needed, they'll reevaluate after that. But
Mum or two, Logan Evans also
lost for the
injured.
season. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess putting it in perspective kind of reminds me a little bit of, the Seahawks losing 3, 4, 5 players, whatever, that go and look at, what you do have. And I guess that's a time to do that. But this is what spring training is all about. Typically is you're kind of wringing your hands and worrying about, the health, and especially when it comes to a pitcher. And, and I think also it just seems that they do a superior job as far as coaching the guys up to, hey, if you feel anything. And, it was wise for Bryce Miller to, and I don't know what that warm-up process is before he gets up on the mound.
He throws from the front of the mound. They're playing catch, and there's a little steam on it. It's not just soft toss, but he's not up on the mound going through the full wind-up and, really letting it fly like that. So, yeah, it's such a bummer because we've said this a million times, but we've seen him when he's at his peak. We've seen it when he hasn't reached his physical peak yet. Obviously, he's still a very young guy, but we saw him 31 starts in a season, a sub-3 ERA. This is not a guy that we saw for a stretch of 3 or 4 starts, and man, he looks like he can be the man. He can really do some things. You're not projecting with him. You saw a full season of what he can do and how impactful he can be. And look, to his credit, even in a very disjointed year last year where, again, just 18 starts in the regular season, he was able to have an impact in the postseason when they desperately needed it. So he's a guy you want and need in this rotation, and that's with all due respect to Emerson Hancock or Criswell or whoever they want to put in there. They're not the same. If we're talking about everybody being healthy, Bryce Miller is just a different guy.
Yeah, no question, but – I mean, you look at, and let's say that, any one of those guys you mentioned is, in the rotation. I mean, how many, it's like we talk about with offensive line, how many offensive line in the NFL have all 5 guys are the guys that you want? There's always somebody in there that maybe isn't optimal. And, that'll be a big focus of who's going to replace Bryce Miller if he's not ready to go. So, yeah, some opportunities for other players, but yeah, it's a bummer, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not like pushing the panic button or anything on it, but it just, you want everything to go perfectly, right? You want everything to go smoothly, and particularly when the injuries start to come down, then all of a sudden you're like, oh boy, I hope we're not snake bit here.
Well, and the difference for me a bit is just that it was kind of ongoing last year. So you're like, oh man, I hope this is just bad luck and not a trend. I hope this is an aberration and not. I mean, the upside is it's not his arm, it's not his elbow, it's not his shoulder, it's an oblique, which can be minor, but we've seen it be major. We saw it last year with Luke Raley. His season was lost because of the oblique, and he came back, but he wasn't the guy. He wasn't who he was the year before. So it can be one of those. It's like a hamstring. One of those things you're going, it's really common. It happens a lot. And sometimes it can be very minor, or it can be that thing that just lingers and doesn't ever fully go away. So you're obviously hoping it's the former, and it's just a minor thing, and they're going to be super cautious. And he's being extra cautious, which I can appreciate. By the way, that to me is not being soft or anything. That's, hey, look, it's not killing me. It's not. I'm not in agony here. It doesn't feel quite right. So why push it?
Yeah.
And you're not earning a spot on this route. You're not somebody who's, we don't know what this guy's made of. We don't know who he is when he's healthy. He's earned his spot. We know what he can do. So I'm okay with him erring on the side of caution, but it's hard not to have that thought in the back of your head, like, oh geez, is he going to be one of those guys? It's just, we talked about with Brendan Davis. He's a great story in this camp so far, but his career to this point has been all about injuries. It's been marred by injury year after year after year.
Yeah, I think your mind races, and you don't want to be like 5-6 years from now, oh, man, he's finally healthy. He started off great, and then, he got this spate of injuries. And look, I don't know anything about pitching, but the oblique, it wasn't like a huge deal for Darnold, and I'm sure the severity is different and everything, but it's the connector between your lower body and your upper body, and for pitchers it starts with their legs and works its way up, and that's if that part's not right, it's just a no-go. It's amazing how, I don't want to say delicate, because these guys are throwing heat, and they're just great athletes and everything, but you see that you look at the contortion that your body goes through as a pitcher, and so for people thinking, oh well, it's just an oblique, well, it kind of ties the lower body to the upper body, and if it it's like it's a no-go, no matter where an injury is for a pitcher. So hopefully, wasn't he getting a PRP?
Yeah,
you got in the oblique there, so and that's not something that can be taken care of with Toradol, like it did for our guy Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that won't fix it. That'll just numb it. That'll just make it feel better,
and then you make it worse.
Yeah. So, it's look, pitchers are finely tuned, and look. They get a blister, it throws everything off.
Yeah,
they get a split in the nail or something that sounds so minor and delicate. It throws all the mechanics off.
Yeah.
So, something like this is a big deal, and hopefully it won't be a lingering situation. Meanwhile, opening day is almost here, and we are sending one of you and a friend to experience it like never before. Front row access to the opening ceremonies, player introductions, and the first pitch, and all of that and more. All from the field. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Friday, March 18th. Meanwhile, the World Baseball Classic took a dramatic turn last night. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
NFL free agency is underway.
Walker finds a gap, 40, 35.
Ian Rappaport, the Chiefs are signing Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker.
3 years, $45 million.
The worth of K9 to the market was far greater than the value that it could be here. I thought John laid that out really well last Thursday with Dave and Bob.
What's his value for us, and how do we fit that in?
What's next for the Seahawks?
$58 million in cap space right now. We have guys locked up for a couple years.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champs, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton here. And Bob, honesty and integrity is what sets Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, apart from others. And I've been working with Dr. Wagner for a couple of years now. He was very straight with me. And I asked him about my right knee and whether, he could treat that for me. He said, no, absolutely not. You need a replacement. Not all doctors will give it to you straight. And, you had a fairly similar experience and you actually went through with the procedure. And after hearing me talk about Dr. Wagner, you decided to go see him yourself. Tell us about that experience and what it was like.
Yeah, I was just tired of dealing with the pain, dealing with the maintenance of my hip issues that had sort of grown and gotten worse over the years after years of jiu-jitsu and sparring. I've just made it worse. Torn labrum, frayed tendon. I was getting steroid shots. The bursa sac was inflamed, arthritis developing. Everything was bad. And he said, look, this doesn't cure everything. It's not a magic pill, but it is going to go a long way in helping you alleviate a lot of the pain you're experiencing. And to me, he undersold that because it is a rare occasion that I feel pain in my hip these days.
Yeah, that's amazing. We heard so many amazing testimonials from patients of Dr. Wagner. So whether it's a shoulder, a hip like Bob had, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got three options. Number one, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Join the Seattle Sports Commission for a star-studded fundraising event featuring the athletes and icons of Washington sports. Experience red carpet interviews, sports exhibits, a silent auction, and live awards show. Created for the sports community by the sports community, all while supporting the nonprofit power of Seattle sports. Don't miss your chance to be among the stars on March 13th at the 91st Annual Sports Star of the Year presented by Microsoft. Get your tickets now at seattlesports.org.
Don't miss the all-sound plumbing Mariners Cactus League report. Tuesday nights at 6. Going inside Mariners camp on the home of the American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got the World Baseball Classic happening. We were all wrapped around Lefko's iPad on a kitchen table last night because we couldn't figure out how to get the TV to get the damn game on.
Yeah, it was like the smallest device in the house.
Yeah,
that we were watching it on.
Yeah, just
well,
a
I
bit
guess we
bigger
could have
than
been watching
phones,
it.
Yeah.
Could have watched it on your phone, I guess.
It was funny. We were clustered around a little iPad.
Yeah, even the literate tech guy that Lefko is couldn't figure out how to get the TV to either broadcast the game, which I don't think it was available on that TV because it's just apps on there, and then we couldn't get it to mirror on the screen. So, and that was Lefko. That wasn't Wyman. That wasn't me. That was Lefko, the tech genius in the house. Couldn't get it working. So, but
it would have been the biggest upset ever if I would have said, "Oh, you just push this button." Lefko.
Yes, it would have been.
Yeah.
That would have been a major miracle.
Dave,
actually.
You said you were an Apple Wallet whiz now, though, so we've taught you well.
Well, I've got some, and I've learned to not panic. Like the other day, I was using my Apple Wallet to get my ticket and get on the plane and all that, and I was like, "Where is the code? Why isn't it there?" And I started to freak out, and I'm like, "Oh, they don't send it out until 24 hours before." Okay, just calm down.
There you go.
But it was a pretty clear picture, and it was a huge bummer.
Yeah, the U.S.
got 11 hits. They only had 6. They beat us 8-6.
Well, and for a while they were just getting their butts handed to them. I mean, was it 8-0? I mean, they were just. I don't know what was happening. Look, even if you want to rip DeRosa for starting Goldschmidt and putting Gunnar Henderson in there and blah blah blah, whatever he did with the roster, these are still very good major league players. Pete Crow Armstrong, these are very. It's not like he put in a bunch of schmageggies in there and said, "Yeah, we'll just get you some reps. You'll be fine." These guys are minor league. I mean, come on. So they're better than 8-0 against Italy, and that's no disrespect to Italy, but. I don't know. Maybe I guess I'd criticize them more for maybe not having their focus being where it should be, and maybe he passed along to them like, "Hey, we already punched our ticket. We're good. I want to win, but we're already good." So I don't know if they were aware of that. I don't know if they were aware that he thought that, or if they thought the same thing. I don't know. But they were clearly not on their game to start. They ended up losing. It became a much closer game than it was. But right now. You need to be a fan of Italy, right? Mm-hmm. And things are looking good right now because they're up 6-0 in the 7th inning.
Yep.
So you want to run us through that scenario there again, Lefko?
Yeah, Italy wins, the U.S. is in.
Made it much easier. Yeah. Much easier. And I'm looking at who is the most Pasquantino. I recognize that name. Of course, Canzone and Mastrobuoni didn't. I don't think he played last night. But yeah, I mean, who are these guys? I mean, we've got Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson and Aaron Judge, who went 0 for 4. Kyle Schwarber, he went 1 for 4. But, you look at some of these guys that they're getting it done with.
Yeah. Yeah, look, that's
who's Teal?
That's I don't
catcher.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of the names on that roster. Give them credit, man. That's a scrappy bunch who didn't, fall at the knees. Oh, it's Team USA. It's the dream team, and they're being referred to, and didn't. They weren't in awe. They weren't intimidated. They went out there and they jumped on them early. They put it on them.
This is all happening in Houston, right?
Yes.
That's why.
You think
that's it?
You think Team USA
Just
not
evil,
feeling right.
There's an evil force.
There's bad mojo in that building.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just it was interesting to watch because it looked like, are they going to actually come back and pull this one out of the fire?
Mm-hmm.
And you had Judge up there with a runner on, and he strikes out to end the game, and it felt like this is the perfect scenario, right? You got the reigning MVP up there, a guy who's clobbered a couple home runs already in the WBC, and he's going to go up there and do it again and bring them back from the precipice. And nope, didn't happen. But what I liked was that, I mean, obviously the fans there were on their feet, and I liked that it was compelling, that it became compelling. I don't know how many people were watching and maybe turned it off and said, I'm not wasting my time. 8-0. I'm out. I'm going to do something else or watch something else. And then maybe later they're going, wait, it's 8-6?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? So at least it became compelling, but I don't blame anybody who tuned out early because it was ugly early.
Yeah, no, it really was. I'm just looking at the name. We have our two guys, Mastroboni and Canzone, but you got Pasquantino. You've got DeZenzo.
You can put the accent on all of them.
Antonacci. Those, but I mean, seriously, these guys, they're well coached.
Have Morosi run down the lineup for you tomorrow.
Morosi, yes.
And he's on the broadcast right now. He's probably loving life.
Oh, he'll be in that. Yeah. He'll be in that clubhouse speaking Italian, fluent Italian to all of them. And if Mexico would have won, he'd be in there speaking fluent Spanish. I've heard him do it. I saw him interviewing players in the Mariners clubhouse fluently. Just
what an amazing guy.
Yeah, he's well versed. Yeah. He's well versed. But USA versus Canada on Friday.
Yeah,
how about that, Josh Naylor? You think does he step into the box and put the hand out to Cal, or does he flip him the bird and tell him you're number one?
That'd be hilarious. That would, or maybe rub his temple with a certain finger.
Yeah,
give him that. I don't know. Maybe.
Or Cal hits a single. He's standing there on first. Right now, call it. Is there any acknowledgement of his presence there?
That's a great call.
Does Naylor even give him a head nod, like nice hit or anything, or does he just turn his back and face the field and think about the next play?
Well, I'm assuming that's what you're going to get because he shunned his own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's just as intense as Cal. Maybe he'll come down on the side of Cal and when they work this whole thing out and, say, hey, I'd do the same thing. So,
yeah.
That's all I care about.
I'm calling it right now, no acknowledgement. If that happens, if Cal ends up on fur, he walks, he gets plunked, he, gets a hit, whatever the situation is that puts him on first base, and if Naylor's there, I don't expect any interaction whatsoever.
Well, and even if this whole thing with Rosarena hadn't happened, I think it was going to be that way with Naylor. So
just knowing those two specifically, though, obviously we know that about Cal now. We've known that about Naylor. I expect nothing.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting. USA versus Canada coming up on Friday, assuming Italy doesn't blow this thing, right? And still in the 7th, up 6-0. So there we go. All right. There are a number of things that stand out right now about Cade Anderson, and you're going to hear a few of those. You're going to hear that conversation coming your way next with Wyman and Bob right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
All week long, Wyman and Bob are broadcasting live from Mariners spring training in Peoria, Arizona. Every afternoon starting at 2.
I cannot wait to get down there.
The expectations,
based on what we saw last year, what they've done in the offseason, that's not kooky talk, Dave.
No, it's not.
Your favorite Mariners.
If you want to get here and you want to do this, you have to have those expectations.
Wyman and Bob, live at Mariners spring training all week long on the home of your AL West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and they got some great entertainment coming through, like Hinder on April 4th, Pop 2000 Tour in August, and then, yes, Queensryche in October. All the info at snocasino.com. And while you're there, you got to check out the Falls Buffet, serving up all your favorites, prime rib every day, fresh pasta, delicious stir-fry, pizzas, salad bar, dessert bar, the pies made every day. It is Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gauge Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to amazonbusiness.com for support.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I'd put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hour and a half drive here. To have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Paddy's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
From the
Quantum Fiber Studio. This is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Well, another glorious day out here at spring training. The sun is shining, and there's a lot of optimism, a lot of excitement about the team that's going to take the field this season, a lot of excitement about some of the guys we may see this season, if not right away, at some point, and this is one of them. Excited to speak with Cade Anderson with us. How are you, man?
I appreciate you having us.
It's good to talk to you, and what's it been like knowing there are a lot of eyes on you, there are a lot of people that are excited about your potential, and everybody's watching, looking for a scouting report. Is that something you're even really aware of, or are you just tunnel vision on what you're working on?
Yeah, I think LSU has prepared me for this kind of stage. It really hasn't been much of a kind of a change in environment. It's been definitely a hell of a ride so far, and just really trying to take it all in. Like the cameras are cameras. It's kind of part of it if you want to play professional baseball anyway. So really just try to take it all in, try to get as much information I can out of the vets, and just having a blast so far.
As far as that part of it goes, what have you done to get used to it? Did you just try to ignore it? And as far as the media and everybody talking to you and all the cameras, like you said, I mean, is it just, like, hey, it's part of it, and you've probably been told about it, and that's just how you handle it?
Yeah, I think, once again, LSU, prepared me. I think we had a lot of media at LSU, so yeah. It's been going on like this for a couple of years now, so I've definitely gotten used to it, and really just trying to control what I can control, and that's baseball.
So are you a guy that will approach, I mean, this is, if it's not the best 1 through 5 in baseball, it's one of the best 1 through 5. Are you a guy that will go to Logan Gilbert or go to Luis Castillo or somebody and ask questions and just pick their brain, or are you more of a sit back and watch and sort of observe guy?
Yeah, both can be very helpful. Obviously this rotation is very special. So it's just been fun to observe how they go about the business, and the cool thing is they're all very unique. They're all very different in their own ways. So it's definitely been really cool to kind of see how they go about their business and kind of pick up a few things from them.
Okay, what are a couple of your go-to pitches that you rely on, and have you tweaked some of those things? Are you thinking differently about them once you got here to spring training and with the pitching coaches?
I don't think anything has necessarily changed from last year. I'm fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, not in any specific order. Just trying to fine-tune my pitches. You can always you're never really truly at your best until you don't realize it, and just really trying to fine-tune accuracy, how my pitches move, and really go from there.
Who are some of the guys that maybe you looked up to as you were coming up through high school and college? Did you try to model your game after anybody? Did you look at anybody's delivery and say, that's kind of similar to me, and then try to mimic that, or how did that go for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I look to mimic any specific pitcher, but I think Max Fried comes to mind. We're very similar in our ways that we pitch, so it's been really cool to kind of just watch videos and kind of see how he does it. It's pretty cool.
What about, when you were growing up, and what kind of an athlete were you? First of all, did you play different sports, or were you just entirely a baseball guy?
Yeah, I played basketball growing up until 8th grade. So
yeah,
as soon as I got to high school, it was just baseball. But, I played basketball growing up as well.
Who did you look up to? Did you know you were going to be a pitcher? Or were you thinking position, what hitter, whatever? I mean, were you? Yeah. Did you always know you were a pitcher?
No, not necessarily. In high school, I hit as well.
Yeah.
I would say that Derek Jeter, I always looked up to Derek Jeter. He's always been my favorite player. So that was really cool. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a diehard Yankees fan, but I did like the Yankees.
Yeah.
They were fun to watch.
Were you good? Usually in high school, coming up through junior high school, the best athletes, the best hitters are often the pitchers. Were you a good hitter in high school?
I think that's a hard question to answer. I think in high school I had good numbers. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a really good hitter, though.
You hit for good average, or were you a power guy?
A little bit of both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then once you became a full-time pitcher, you said, all right, I'm leaving that behind?
Yeah, just the pitching kind of outdid the hitting most of the time, so it was just a matter of time. And then when I got to LSU, they they made that.
They took the bat away.
Yeah, they made that choice for me.
Most pitchers feel like, just give me one at bat. I can show you. I can rake. I can go out there.
No, I won't. I won't. Say that.
You know what? It reminds me of the NFL. Like if you ask the NFL players, they brag about being good basketball players. I'm the best basketball player. I don't know why that is, but is that the case for pitchers? It's like, I was a good hitter. Who like competition between pitchers who had the best batting average?
I think a lot of people try to say pitchers aren't athletes. I think there is a lot of pitchers, especially at this level, that are really good athletes.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of them here with the Mariners. So I wouldn't necessarily say that we're really good hitters, but I think every once in a while the ball will hit the bat.
Yeah. Are you a guy that's dialed into the rivalries yet with this team? Like the Astros, you're supposed to hate them. Do you know this?
Yes. As soon as I got drafted, I basically became a diehard Mariners fan. I watched every game. The series in, I want to say, August that they played the Astros, that was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of found out that they were the rivals.
They're awful people.
Yeah. As far as this show goes, you'll find out that I really like Cal Raleigh, and I think he could be a starting middle linebacker in the NFL. And Bob hates the Astros.
Yeah.
Hates them with a passion. Like he won't let it go.
That's funny.
Listen, you cheat and you win a World Series because of it, man. It's hard to let that go.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's going to follow you around.
That's funny.
But is that? Are you a guy that can use things like that? I'm kind of joking around, but like you'll almost create a chip like, oh man, this guy, I can't wait to get this guy out. Do you pitch with that kind of I don't know if it's anger, but sort of I'm going to take great delight in getting this guy out or working against this team?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think I pick an individual to truly get after, but I think it's the same mindset I have no matter who's in the box necessarily.
Hey, so there's so much money in college sports now. You guys probably have high-end everything. Is there anything different here at the professional level, like the trajectory machine that they have in there? I know that's not part of what you're doing, but is there anything at this level that man, this is a big league jump as far as technology, coaching, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they don't have the trajectory at LSU.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more coaches, so they're able to take a bigger dive into analytics and stuff, and take a look at each individual thing. There's just more eyes on you. So that's been a little bit of a difference. But I think it's at the end of the day, it's baseball, and everyone's got their own gadgets that they're used to using, but at the end of the day, it's the same game you play.
Well, and that's the thing I feel like a lot of people don't realize is that you guys have huge scouting reports on hitters, right? I mean, I'm sure you did it at LSU, but going into games, was that going on at LSU that you're looking at every pitcher or every hitter and what his what's his vulnerability, things like that?
Yeah, there's that at LSU as well.
Yeah.
It's basically just a bunch of data on a piece of paper, and
so nothing new there.
No, you can take it with a grain of salt if you want, or you can really dive deep into it, and it just kind of depends on who you are, how much you want to look into it.
You talk about gadgets and things like that. Have you conversed with Logan about his big bag of gadgets that he carries around with him?
Yeah, he's got a big suitcase of things. And,
do you use any of that? Are you intrigued by them, or you're like, oh, I've used that. I know what that is.
Yeah, I've seen all the stuff he's using for the most part, and it works for him. I wouldn't necessarily say it works for me, but that's once again the uniqueness about our starting pitchers and pitchers in general. You have. There's just so much uniqueness about how everyone kind of does it.
It seems like that's kind of what in the bullpen here, the pitching staff, the coaches, that the thing they excel at is what's your best stuff, throw that. Is that kind of what you've noticed from these guys?
Yeah, I think it really just goes back to throwing your best pitches in the strike zone. I think it's simple as that. Attacking hitters.
When you hear people talk about it technically and stuff, and people on TV, breaking it down and stuff, do you go, that's a load of crap? They don't know what they're talking about. They make it too complicated, or are you? Sometimes you hear something familiar.
Yeah, I think sometimes pitching can be a lot more advanced than you can truly make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty simple game if you really want to think about it. It's a strike or a ball. It's that simple sometimes, and Sometimes they hit it and sometimes they don't. And, you can look at it like that if you want, for sure.
How are you with the pitch clock? Do you like that? I think fans like that the game's been shortened and there's some rhythm to it. Some pitchers are like, it kind of screws up my rhythm. Where are you at with the pitch clock and even the ABS and things like that are being introduced to the game?
Yeah, I moved pretty quick throughout the game, so it really hasn't affected me much. In college, it was 20 seconds, and now it's 18, so there's really no difference there. So I've already had to use it twice, and I haven't even really noticed it that much.
Are you a guy that would want to call your own? Because we see George Kirby now calling his own pitches with PitchCom. Some other pitchers do it in the league. Is that anything you'd want to do?
I mean, maybe one day, but I put full trust into, hopefully one day Cal catching me, and really just all the catchers in our org in general. Like, that's basically their job, and they take it very serious. So, I would be. I don't even know what the word is, but I think the catchers they're so smart when it comes to that stuff. I think I'd just let them do their thing.
You got full trust in them.
Right.
Yeah. I think Cal would appreciate that probably.
Cal's really good at it.
Yeah.
Really good at it.
Hey, take us back to the draft day and your family, who all was there, and then it's kind of weird. I also got drafted, and it's like you don't know where like the rest of your life's about to play out. Like I would have never probably chosen to go to Seattle. I met my wife there. I mean, my whole life changed because of that. That day, I mean, I don't know if you thought about those kinds of things, but were you surprised, and what were you thinking about when you got drafted by the Mariners?
Yeah, obviously a super special day, and you got a lot of emotions going on beforehand, and you don't know what's going to happen. But I will say, before the draft, I was hoping to go to the Mariners, and you can believe me or not, but
we do.
My pitching coach actually he coached at Oregon State, and he kind of knew about the Mariners, and basically was telling me, like, if you had the chance to be a part of the Mariners, it'd be a good spot for you, just because of the pitching development. And I truly believe that the team you go to really does matter. It's not just luck of the draw. There's teams that are better at developing than others, and I think I got really lucky.
Had you ever been to Seattle before?
No, sir. I've never been to the West Coast.
You still haven't been there?
I went there in July.
But you before being drafted, you'd never been to the West Coast?
No, sir.
So what was what's your impression? I don't know how much time you've had to explore the city and just check it out, but from what you've seen, what's your impression of it?
Yeah, I went there once in July, and man, the weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. I really liked it. It's a very clean city. It was really cool. It's a lot different than where I live in New Orleans, basically complete opposite. But it was really cool. And then I went there once in January, and a little different weather. It's a really cool city. I really like it.
Did you do any of the touristy? Did you go to the Space Needle, Pike Place Market, all those things?
Yeah, we went to Space Needle in July, and then the Park Place. It was really cool. I liked it.
Did you catch a fish? A fish?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Yeah. You're going, what is this? What a weird tradition.
Yeah, it's really cool, though. It is.
Looks hard. Looks harder than it is. It's slippery.
You'd be surprised. It actually it's a weird feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. I could say I did that now. It's
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Hey, tell us about family and, brothers, sisters, all that. Has your family got a chance to come up to Seattle and visit yet?
Yeah, so my family came with me in July as well. Cool. I have mom and dad, brother, sister. They're both younger than me. My sister's a freshman in college, and my brother's 12.
Okay.
Or he's about to turn 12. So, cool. He's into baseball. He's a catcher, so... He's had the best time so far. He gets all the cool treatment. It's cool.
He's had more fun than you, probably.
Right. He gets all the gear, all the stuff, man.
Nice.
Can you imagine if you were 12 years old and you had a brother that's in the show and giving you all the gear, and are you sending him hats and stuff like that?
I've seen Kyle's brother. He's gotten to get some cool things done, and that's really cool. That's really cool.
Is he collecting your cards?
My brother? No, he's not yet.
Not yet? Yeah, you just put those aside for him. Hey, last thing before we let you go, I'm sure you probably thought about it at some point, but is there Is there a hitter you'd love just to see how do I match up with this guy, whether it's like Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani or one of the greats in the game? Do you ever sort of daydream about facing these guys?
I mean, yeah, hopefully one day I can face them all. I mean, obviously, yeah, Aaron Judge, Shohei, those are really two big names. But I'm looking forward to just making my debut, and when we'll get there when that time comes type thing.
Well, we can't wait to see it, man. It's cool to talk to you. Can't wait to see you out here. A lot of people anxious to see you, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. This is great, and we look forward to talking again, man. Thanks so much for the time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate having
Thanks, Cade.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
There you go. There's Cade Anderson. If you guys missed any part of that, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab. Scroll down to our picture, click on that, and you'll find it waiting for you. And you can click subscribe. It's totally free. That way, if you forget, you're not unable to tune in and during the moment, it's right there for you, and it just shows up. It's a beautiful thing. Meanwhile, we opened the show talking about the whole Cal Randy thing that went on last night at the WBC. Cal was on a call with local media to address the situation today and gave his side on why he believes everything will be fine when they get back in the same clubhouse.
There's no beef. I love Randy. When we're back in Seattle, he's my brother. He's family. We're all in it together. Just like I'm here right now with Team USA, and I got no hard feelings towards him. Like I said, I don't see this being a thing at all, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then went on to say that he did talk to Randy after the game and talked about what they talked about.
You know, I reached out to Randy, and, you know, I told him, you know, essentially, sorry if you felt disrespected or whatever it may be, but, you know, it's just, you know, we're just playing the game. And, you know, I think he would want the same if I was his teammate. We were playing, you know, somebody in a playoff game, and he'd want that same kind of energy from me. So I think that's kind of how I see it, and I reached out and, you know, put it to bed. You know, I think I love Randy. Like I said, I got no beef at all, so.
Okay. It says he reached out to him, but he didn't say anything about a response. Right?
Yeah, hopefully it's all good. I would, you know, I don't know. First of all, I don't know how well Randy speaks English. I haven't heard him speak or attempt to speak. He must obviously be able to communicate enough with his teammates, but I'm wondering, you know, if he was there with an interpreter to make sure the message was coming through loud and clear and, you know, getting the nuance of it, or I don't really know that part of it. But yeah, you're right. He didn't mention a response, and to this point we haven't heard one. I hope it's all good. Sounds like Cal hopes the same thing, but again, you notice he didn't say anything about pine tar. Somebody again was texting in. I read that it was pine. No, it was not. It had nothing to do with pine tar. It wasn't a joke, as some were hoping, Dave. Obviously, it wasn't a joke. That's just Cal's. That's his approach to this whole thing.
Well, you know what's funny is I've sent pictures of Randy at the plate to like my friends, and I'm like, this is who I want as a competitor, because man, there's nobody that looks like more pissed off at the plate than Randy Arozarena. Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that he wanted to shake Cal's hand, because that really hasn't been the way he is at the. He's got like a face that. He looks like he's pissed off. He looks like he wants to punish you. Yeah. And you know, I'm just surprised that he went up and, you know, extended the hand and everything. It is kind of humiliating, of course, that you go to shake somebody and they stiff you on it, or like your dad, they pull the hand away and
see,
comb
that would have
hair.
been funny.
Yeah.
That would have been.
That probably
hilarious.
would have been, but like it's not a lighthearted situation. Like they're, you know, maybe Cal's just extra fired up for it. Seemed like he was. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just curious about what his what the response was from that text that he sent.
Well, and you know, remember what Randy did last night? We saw him step out like he did in that at bat last year. So for him, maybe that's just a competitive edge for a pitcher. Maybe he gets really offended. So in that standpoint, hey, Cal's just playing like he would. If Randy has a problem with that, someone should show him the video of, look, you're literally stepping out when a guy's pitching.
Right.
So
that's the same thing, you think?
Yeah, I think
it's disrespect.
Well, a pitcher could perceive it as that, and then like a Rosarena would say, "This is just me trying to get a competitive advantage. And maybe Cal's saying, look, in my competitive standpoint, I'm locked in. This is how I play. I'm not going to have any distractions, any external distractions there.
I remember that, we were watching that at bat where he stepped out the first pitch and it was a strike, and then he gets in, and I don't know if I can't remember if he swung at one or looked at it, and it was strike 2. So now he's 0-2, and I don't know, maybe Cal thinks that's somewhat disrespectful. Good point, Mike. I don't until I hear from, what was Randy or Rosarena's response, I don't, I'm not really going to know what's going on there. I just don't see it being a problem for the long haul.
I don't think it is either, personally, unless I mean, it won't be a problem on Cal's end. That part was made clear. We don't know how Randy feels about it. He could be like, you know what, bleep that guy. That was disrespectful, and I'm not over it.
Right.
And that'll be on him. Hopefully, cooler heads will prevail, and he'll, understand, and maybe he already does. It's just because we haven't heard from him doesn't mean he's mad or anything. So, don't want to portray it as that. It just, I don't know. Is it gamesmanship? Is it just, this is my philosophy, this is how I conduct my business, and hopefully you understand and you respect it, and we can be cool after this? But if not, Dan's got some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's not that, because that's part of what we've talked about with this team especially last year, and it's been true for a couple of years. It's been great in the clubhouse. It's been a great culture, a great vibe that, kind of like defense, offense in a football locker room. You see pitchers interacting with everybody else, position players. It's at times I've seen it where the pitchers are kind of to themselves and everybody else is over here, and there's kind of a separation, and it's nothing but a great vibe in that clubhouse, and as good as I've ever seen it. I would say last year was. It's been probably the only year that it hasn't been like that in recent memory is when Winker was in there.
Yeah.
And prior to that, Gene Segura brought a little vibe that wasn't appreciated by many there. So there was him and Winker. You've had a couple of guys that were not blending, but since then, it's been great. It's been great. And last year was spectacular. I mean, you just got a sense these guys love each other. And so that gives me faith that this is not going to be a thing.
But, I mean, look, there have been locker rooms or clubhouses that have had those kinds of divides and had success.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, geez, look at the Yankees, and they were notorious for that. And we've seen, certainly seen Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent go after each other in the dugout, and Bryce Harper, and who was that goofy closer I couldn't stand from the Red Sox? How am I blanking on his name right now? His face is so punchable. They got into it. Anyway, it's not unique. It's not unique. So,
well, even the Seahawks with we talked a little bit about this earlier, but Sherm and Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
remember he picked him off in practice and told him he sucked. If you saw that, I mean that happened.
It did.
That's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, it is. It is. But they were able to win a Super Bowl, so there you go. Dan Wilson's got a big decision to make in the next couple of weeks. We'll get into what that is coming up next with Wyman and Bob live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
Brock and Salk.
I got a text from a friend that said, I'm having a discussion with a buddy.
Morning 6 to 10.
He says the Mariners are better than last year. I told him I'd get your expert opinion. Well, I appreciate being labeled an expert in this case.
Did you answer?
I did answer.
On paper, you would see that this is a more mature team and a complete team.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10 on the home of your American League West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Experience the Seattle RV Show. All the makes, models, and floor plans. Get special rates, incentives, and show-only deals. Talk to RV experts and check out all the add-ons and upgrades. March 12 through 15. Tickets at SeattleRVShow.com. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Get broadcast times for every Three Tree Roofing Mariners Cactus League broadcast.
Holy smokes, he does it again!
At seattlesports.com.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Peoria, Arizona. Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. I just showed you the video. I posted this video on Twitter because it is a minor miracle that Tucker, the team dog, who doesn't really let people pet him unless they have a treat, he let me pet him. He was just laying there as I was petting. I had to make Lefko film it. I'm like, document this moment.
You have a special touch.
Well,
you're the dog whisperer.
You know who would be jealous would be Taylor Saucedo. Wasn't he the one that said, I just want that dog to let me? Wasn't he the one that said that?
I think he was. Yeah,
because Tucker is a great dog, but he's not overly cuddly. He
was like, I so badly want that dog to love me.
Yeah. He's just a dog that doesn't really let you cozy up to him. And he was laying there, letting me pet him, and I posted the video, and you hear a little commentary from Rick Riz in the background on the video. So check it out on Twitter, and we got it cut off just in time. At Bob Stelton on Twitter. It's a magical moment, really the highlight of the trip so far.
That's why I tried to sort of diminish the whole experience by mentioning what he did at the part that you cut it off. I'm like, he likes you so much that he's going to go ahead and
he's going to
do some business.
Yeah. So check it out. Check out Tucker and all of his glory. He and I bonded. We're now forever connected. Meanwhile, we were talking about how things went last year, and Logan was named the opening day starter and how meaningful that was for him. And that's always a big deal. It means something, but it's game one, and then the rotation goes the way it goes with days off and guys maybe missing a start here or there and what have you. But, being the opening day starter certainly is an honor for anybody who's had it. Luis, I thought the thing that was really cool that we haven't really talked about in a long time is the way Luis Castillo handled it. And remember how Logan was saying, man, he was more excited than I was. Remember that when Dan, brought them in and told them, hey, Logan, you're going to be our opening day starter, that Luis couldn't have been more excited, more kind, and just, supportive, and just, some salty old veteran could have taken that the other way and said, what? I'm the Rock. I'm the guy that's got the resume here. What are you doing? Or, ego could have gotten involved, and it didn't, and he was the polar opposite. How do you think it goes this year? If you were going to call it now, who would be the opening day starter?
I'm forgetting who was the opening day starter in 24.
That was Luis Castillo.
Castillo was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. And then and he's the Rock, but like right now, I think there's lots of times where you and I have ranked him, and he's been number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's been solid. He's been solid. I don't know, Brian Wu.
That would be the odds-on favorite. I don't know how much do the results matter. We spend the entire time during spring training going, look, take these results with a grain of salt, whether we're talking about batting average, ERA, whatever. It's spring training. Good or bad, you just kind of you have to take them for what they are. So I'm curious what it is Dan looks at. Like, is it, hey, whoever's just had the best spring, or who's the guy that just seems like he's just on his game and everything's popping out of his hand, and we want to get off to a fast start, and this is the guy to do it, or what goes into that decision. And hopefully we'll catch up with Dan when we're here and talk to him about that. But if you were the manager right now, would you be thinking in your head, I already know who it is, or would you be looking at it going, okay, let me see how these guys perform in spring, and who seems the sharpest, and who's going to get us off on the right foot?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it also has to do with leadership, and the fact that they're trying to get some kind of a contract for Logan Gilbert together, and that he's homegrown and everything. Maybe, you asked me to pick. Dan knows a lot more than we do about what the role of that player is and what that means, as far as not only you want a certain amount of it to reward the best pitcher, but also what does he mean to the team? And I think that might be where the tipping point is. And I don't know, maybe it's Logan Gilbert again, just because he's the only guy we've talked to, as far as the rotation goes, and he's such a great leader, and he's just so. He just seems like he's one of the guys. It's him and Cal. I feel like that it probably set the tone the most in the locker room. So maybe it's that. But I think that is a big part of it. Because really, I mean, look, if Bryce Miller was healthy and, what George Kirby has done and everything, I mean, any of those guys you could pick, including The Rock, who, was a couple of years ago. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's something that only Dan would really know. But, having talked to Logan Gilbert, I'm like, yeah, I guess recency bias, I'm going to go with Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, well, and I think Lefko brought up an interesting point here.
He did?
Yeah, I think he did. I'll give him some credit. Look, we don't know where the talks are on an extension. We've heard what Justin said about it. We've heard what Logan has said about it. But are the agents and the team talking? I have no idea. But would that be something you'd look at if you're trying to lock this guy down and saying, you know what, let's make sure we're still on his really good side and let him know how important he is to the team and how much we value his presence in this rotation and being a part of this franchise. And we're going to show you that by giving you that opening day nod once again.
Yeah, no, I think that would be that'd be a great move. So, and maybe he's having a conversation. I'm sure that Jerry and Justin are maybe chiming in a little bit, but ultimately it's up to Dan. But yeah, I mean, given that they're looking at extending him, I think it'd be a great move.
Yeah, and then the other question, another good one from Lefko. I got to give him credit. After whoever gets the opening day start, how would you stack the rest of the rotation? I can tell you, I would go. Let's hypothetically say it's Logan.
Okay.
So if Logan's 1, I'm going Wu 2. I'm going Kirby 3.
Yes.
Going Castillo 4. Miller 5.
Miller 5. Yeah, just because of the health issues with Miller.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the way you go.
Yeah, on the heels of 24, it would have been a different answer because Wu and Miller both were the two pitchers that finished that year sub-3 ERA, and it was a full season for Miller. He had 31 starts that year.
Right.
Wu was a little short on starts, but had a tremendous year. So, yeah, that would have been a different answer, but if we're just talking make that choice today, everybody's healthy, that would be my starting 5. You guys can text in on that as well, 866-979-3776. Who would be your opening day starter? And then how would you stack the rest of the rotation after that guy? How would it go for you? Throw that up there. Meanwhile, this guy was part of a historic trade for the Mariners, and now he's back with the team as a coach. Austin Nola going to join us next with Wyman and Bob live from Peoria, Arizona at Seattle Sports on 710.
All week long, Wyman and Bob are broadcasting live from Mariners spring training in Peoria, Arizona. Every afternoon starting at 2.
I cannot wait to get down there.
The expectations.
Based on what we saw last year, what they've done in the offseason. That's not kooky talk, Dave.
No, it's not.
Your favorite Mariners.
If you want to get here and you want to do this, you have to have those expectations.
Wyman and Bob live at Mariners spring training all week long on the home of your AL West champion Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, seattlegolfshow.com.
Where's everyone going? To get their $15 St. Patty's Day raffle ticket from Washington's Lottery before they're gone. With a $1 million grand prize and only 250,000 tickets available, you better go get yours today. Game on.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
P&D Tree Service. Experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe, defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live from Peoria, Arizona. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. SeattleSports.com. We get a chance to catch up with a guy who feels like it was just yesterday he was in a Mariners uniform. And he is once again, but now as a coach, a bullpen coach. Austin Nola is with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks, guys. Beautiful weather today. Just finished a game.
Yeah, it's an amazing day out. How weird is it to be a coach? I mean, you were just playing last year.
Yeah.
You could have played this year. I believe you had an offer out there, and you just said, I'm going to be a coach. How tough was that decision?
It was tough, but watching the Mariners in the playoffs and longing to be part of, something that looked like was heading in a direction it's the Seattle people are probably extremely excited about. I couldn't turn it down. I knew coaching was coming at some point, but I mean, when Mariners called and just the experience that I had here with the type of people, and I knew that it was only getting better and better, so it's just hard to beat.
In the NFL, it's always the backup quarterbacks are typically, head coaches and lots of catchers out there. Yeah. There's got to be kind of a little brotherhood, you guys, and you got one as your skipper there, Dan Wilson.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
We stay tight. The catchers stay tight. We interact with everybody in the whole organization pretty much, pitchers, position players. So, it's a fun position. It's you're always in the action every day.
Is the dream ultimately to be a manager, or have you thought that far ahead?
I hope so. It's been. I just wanted to get in. I just wanted to see what coaching was like. As a player, I really enjoyed it, but I knew that at some point I was probably going to have a calling this way.
Hey, it seems like typically when we talk about like bullpens, like league wide, they're sort of up and down, and the Mariners have been really consistent over the last 3-4 years. What do you think is the secret sauce there so far that you can tell?
The attack, throwing balls right over the plate, making hitters swing.
Yeah.
When you have good stuff like we have in our bullpen, we can go right after hitters. There's just what you're going to get, and I think that already gets hitters swinging when you know what you're going to get, and it's going to be hard. Yeah. Hard stuff with good breaking balls, and as a hitter, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, when you know what you're going to get and you're going to get that type of velocity, it's not good.
This franchise has had obviously a lot of great pitchers throughout the years, whether it's Randy, whether it's Felix, anybody you want to throw out there, James Paxton, all those guys. But 1 through 5, and just we'll get to the bullpen. But just looking at this starting rotation when healthy, is it as deep or as good as you've seen in baseball?
Yeah, it's the fastballs for me. You got to be able to have a good fastball to be successful over a long period of time as a starter, and we have the guys with good fastballs. They attack with their fastball. They have really good fastballs, and they throw it over the plate, and that is a separator for our starting rotation because when you use your fastball, guys are forced to go up there and be ready to hit, which in turn gives us a good chance to pitch a lot longer throughout the year.
A couple of guys that would argue with you that were Mariners, Jamie Moyer and Marco Gonzalez.
Both those. And they had great careers, really good careers. Yes.
Hey, what did you like out of Brash's outing today?
I couldn't see a ton from the bullpen, but I just know that he went out there and he attacked. He didn't walk anybody. At least I didn't. Did he walk anybody? I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Gave up one hit.
He gave up a hit. Too. Yeah, he got after guys, and that's what you want in spring training, guys, attacking the hitters, going after them, and just letting their stuff play over the plate, keeping everything in line, and keeping, on the attack is what we're preaching, and that's what we want those guys to do, and he did a great job today.
What do you look for as a player and now as a coach in terms of how do you view numbers in spring training? We're always taught, it's spring. You can't put too much into whether they're great or whether they look terrible. Guys are working on things. As a player, was that your mentality, and does that carry over to a coach?
Yeah, you try to, focus on what's the process that's going to get my numbers where they need to be, and you try to, tweak those processes in spring training to find what's the most, the sweet spot of the getting those numbers where you kind of trending. I always said in spring training you want to feel hungry, a little bit of hunger. When you go into the season, you don't want to have a year of spring training where you hit 600 and have 10 home runs because you don't go into the season hungry. Yeah. And I'm sure on the pitching side it's similar. You want to go out there and have some outings where you give up some hits and you have, some traffic because you want to go into the season with a little bit of edge versus just feeling like, I got to figure it out. I dominated spring training. It's kind of a false sense of security.
Yeah.
What's the sort of typical mentality of a bullpen pitcher? For, having interviewed guys like Seawald over the years, it's like usually they're very self-effacing and they kind of have good sense of humor. You got to be able to, be strong mentally. What are the things that stand out to you in good bullpen pitchers?
Yeah, the confidence. They don't need a ton down there. They know what their job is, and they go out there and they're confident. They don't need a bunch of throws to get ready and see success happen in the bullpen. It's what I've noticed is that it's already there, and it's just getting warmed up to go dominate and compete in the game. And that's what I noticed in the good bullpen guys is they just go out there and they truly believe in their stuff, and they believe that the guy in the box is not going to hit it.
Yeah. Curious to get your reaction as a catcher because you know better than anybody the demands physically of that position and mentally. You're the general out there. To watch what Cal Raleigh did last year, to play the number of games that he did behind the plate and do what he did in the way of production, What was your reaction to that? Were you just shaking your head every night? How tough is that at that position?
I don't know if it'll, ever be done again, what he did, as far as it was historical. How he played every game, pretty much, the way he caught, no pass balls, minimum. I don't know if he had any errors. He hit 60 home runs. He was the team leader, drove in runs. I don't know if we'll ever see a season like that again. It was a historical season. It's unheard of as the catching position. I could barely catch 4 in a row, without hurting. And then by the 4th game, my swing was going through water. Cal was going on probably like 8 in a row in his swing. He's still hitting 3 home runs in a game. Historical is all I can say for that.
Set the bar pretty high. Now if he hits 40, people go, he had a down year.
Come on. If there's anybody that's going to do it, it's Cal. Again.
We talked to Cade Anderson yesterday, LSU guy, and I've heard that Texas is like the football state, in the United States, and then Louisiana's the baseball state. And you got drafted out of high school, right? And then ended up going to LSU. And is that maybe the best or closest program to playing in the major leagues, LSU?
Yeah, because you go to Omaha a lot. And I think Omaha is probably the closest you get to a major league game.
Yeah.
College stadiums around the league and around, the United States are, even LSU, we got, 11,000 in a game, and it does not feel like the big leagues. It's loud, don't get me wrong, and they have a care factor that's different. But, the more you play in Omaha, the closer it gets to the big leagues. And LSU play a lot in Omaha, and you win a lot in Omaha.
Yeah, it's a good place to end up in college. Yeah.
If you want to go to Omaha, you want to see what it looks like, the big leagues somewhat looks like.
Yeah.
Omaha is the closest you're going to get.
Hey, just looking at this team, they got so close last year. The city was going bananas. Just talking about Mariner Mania, 8 outs away. Is this a team I look at from the outside and I go, this is a better team entering the season than they were certainly the one entering last season. I don't know how in touch you were with last year's version of the team, but how would you compare the two?
Yeah, I got a chance to play in the championship series as a player, and it battle tests you when you work your way that far and, one step away from the World Series. It tests you a lot as a team, and watching the Mariners and on TV and, getting to be around the guys, they're tested. And, through tests you grow, and I can see the hunger that we're not done yet. And that's what I see as a team that has gone through some adversity, gone through, getting almost there. It does something to you. And it gives you confidence of we know we're close. We know it's right there. And when we hit adversity, we know that we're going to come out of it. And I think that's big is when you hit adversity, do you really have the belief that you're going to come out of it and come out on top? And I think we got it.
Austin, what's the best pitch that you think that comes out of the bullpen this year? Is it the slider from Brash? What's the one where you're that one is special? I know it's asking, to pick your favorite kid.
Yeah.
But is it Brash's slider? Is it – I'll give you choices.
I'm a fastball guy. I like a good fastball. I like a good Mooney fastball at 100. Or a Brash fastball at 100. I can go down the line, our guys, with their fastballs of how good their fastballs are. A good fastball makes everything that much better.
Yeah. Hey, last one before we let you go. Just as far as being a coach and working your way through that process, is there a lot you looked at? I took this from Scott Service, and I took this from this guy. I took this element of how they coach, and maybe in some cases I'm not going to do that. I didn't think that was effective. Have you kind of created your own coaching style based on who you've interacted with throughout your career?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. I've had a lot of good managers and spent a lot of time, around clubhouses and talking to players. And, my brother, I'm talking to him a lot, and just understanding that every player is different and you can't treat every player the same. And getting to know them and being part of it and leading is it's hard to do. And you just have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, because you can't just have it all figured out the first time you do it. And so I'm really looking forward to the learning process of it because it's different, it's new, and I'm going to work just as hard as it is a player to be the best I can be here.
Well, it's cool to have you back. It looks natural being in a Seattle Mariners uniform.
It feels natural. It feels
great.
like
home. Right?
Yeah, it does feel like home. Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate it so much, man. Thanks so much for the time, and hopefully we get a chance to talk again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Austin Nola, now a member of this Mariners coaching staff. All right, everybody, that does it for us. Great day of guests out here in Peoria, Arizona. If you guys missed any part of today's show, or any day for that matter, head to the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab. Click on our picture, and it's right there waiting for you after the show each and every day. And it is free to click subscribe. Just click subscribe. It shows up for you automatically, and you never have to worry about it again. Have a great night, everybody. We'll join you live from Peoria, Arizona again tomorrow right here, Seattle Sports on 710.
Having one of those days where a little of this would make things so much better?
Fastball, strike three called. He got him looking. How about that for a Cactus League debut? Cade Anderson striking out the side.
We got you. You can stream every Mariners spring training game live for free on the Seattle Sports app. Making lives better through Mariners baseball, one
goodbye baseball
at a time. Home of your American League West champion Mariners.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hear that? Sounds like simple. Valvoline Instant Oil Change simple. No appointments. About 15 minutes to change your oil. Then out the door and back to life.
Yeah, honey, on my way.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Expert service doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
Great decisions start with knowing your options. Lake Washington Windows and Doors are built to perform. Their windows are 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards, cut noise up to 50%, and are designed with low-maintenance clean glass technology. While most window frames are hollow, theirs feature Comfort Core insulation for superior energy efficiency. Find your pot of gold with up to 20% in savings and 12-month financing with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. A name you can trust.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. Something that happens here most every day are customers and contractors looking to purchase doors they can take today. Frank Lumber has a good selection of pre-hung display doors that are ready to go. And if we don't have what you need today, whether it be style or size, and you find a door in stock, we can still get you taken care of quickly. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Do you have a car sitting around collecting dust? Well, turn that car into cash at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your vehicle today, pay you right up front, but it gets even better because once they resell your old car, they share 50% of their profit with you. I'm here with my friend Mark Clymer from Wayscar Ford in Auburn. So, Mark, it's been a few years since you started offering this. How's it going?
I got to tell you, customers are loving it. They're getting top dollar for their vehicle up front. They're getting paid right now. And the best part is when we resell that vehicle, they're getting 50% of the profit.
That 50% has now amounted to over $1 million shared with customers. Why do you think it's working so well?
Let's face it, it's Thunderdome out there with all the auto theft, the identity theft, and the other scams going on today. Less and less people are comfortable trying to sell their car themselves. So we offer them a way to get a lot more money for their car without having to go through all the hassle of trying to sell it themselves.
And it's only at Wayscar Ford, Isuzu in Auburn. WayscarFord.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
All week long, Wyman and Bob are broadcasting live from Mariners spring training in Peoria, Arizona. Every afternoon starting at 2.